Welcome, Capricorn, to your Sagittarius full moon 2-week forecast for the ascendant, the sun, or the moon. On May the 31st, the second full moon of the month, a blue moon, occurs in the free spirited fire sign of Sagittarius. We can talk about that from a general view, but on the screen is this event from a Capricorn viewpoint. I'm going to unpack this event for you. By the end of the video, you'll have a clearer picture of what's upcoming in terms of your energy, work, relationships, or finances. And it's an event which sees Mars, the planet of passion, in the Earth sign of Taurus in a quincunx with the moon in your 12th house. So that's very, very potent. So what is a Sagittarian full moon? Well, Sagittarius likes space, both physical and emotional. It can be very enthusiastic. It can be very animated. It's very much about knowledge. But in the first decan of the sign, the first 10 degrees, this one has a double Jupiterian energy. Jupiter rules the sign, but also that first 10 degrees. So the 12th house can be delicate energies. They're the energies we don't always want to look at, our fears, anxieties, our shadow side. It can be where people don't always have our best interest at heart as well. But the moon in the 12th house can see us much more, perhaps raw, maybe even a little vulnerable. But on the other side of the heavens, the king of the sky, the queen on this side, the king in opposition is in the sign of Gemini, which is quick-witted. It's an air sign. It's not very emotional at all. And it's very close to the newly arrived Uranus, which can be disruptive. But the sixth house is about details. It's also about the practical domain. It is about the physical dimension, whereas that moon much more to do with the spiritual, psychological, and emotional one. So what can happen with the Sagittarius full moon for you personally? Most years is that something that maybe is a little out of balance in terms of our energy, physical or emotional, may need to be trimmed. It may need to be realigned. So, for example, if you're working very hard and being very conscientious, the sixth house can be about responsibilities and obligations, but you're putting yourself second, pouring from that proverbial empty jug. That can be an issue over the next 2 weeks. But also, this sixth house energy can be very good. It may be because it can be about work that some enterprising opportunities are coming up. But how do you feel about that? Is it making you feel a bit on edge? Is it making you feel unsure? Those are the things that really are going to be showcased this next fortnight. But that location of Mars is really interesting because for you, just coming out of a very powerful right angle with Pluto, there may have been a clash that's gone on towards the end of May. It may have been in a romantic situation, it may have been around a financial or social one, and maybe someone has been a bit niggly, a bit picky, or they're about to be over the next 2 weeks. But because Mars is in your sister Earth sign of Taurus, that's something you can really relate to. And Mars actually can make you very passionate. So if someone is very critical, hyper analytical on something you're doing, which you feel exposes your raw side, I think Mars, in a way, can actually be your defense. But just know your ruling planet Saturn is also clashing with Venus in your sector of relating. So, if around a relationship situation, there isn't really a good balance between honest emotional sharing, because Sagittarius is about being very frank, seeing the big picture. If that's not really showing up, it's very much about, well, you said you do this and I'm doing this, and it's all a bit intolerant and brittle. That is something that really could see that feisty energy of Mars support that moon despite the quincunx and see you speak your truth. But it could be the other way. It may be just in a romantic situation or socially, that something that you feel very tender about, someone can just seem to want to focus on it. So how do you navigate this to your best effect? Well, I think in a way, just know that Mercury, the ruler of the sign of Gemini, is just about to move into your seventh house for 10 weeks. That's on the 1st of June. And that will help you to be a bit more detached. Even if people do see things differently to you, you can just sort of rationalize it a bit more, take it a bit less personally. Also, although Venus is challenged by Saturn exactly on this event, which could see a weak relationship really be tested, soon enough when we go into June, from the start of the second week, Venus and Jupiter are forging a very rare alliance, which comes to a climax on the 7th, but they're in touch for the whole of week two. So something better around relationships is coming. So if through this full moon, some truths come out, perhaps ones that you've been holding in aside and you express them, or someone else says their piece, it is possible that something good can come from that. Also, if you are wanting to make progress around your work situation, and even if you do feel a bit unsure how it will play out, the moon in the 12th house, the brilliant link between Pluto and the path of fortune to Uranus and the sun, and also your ruler Saturn's link to the sun, is all very steady, but also very progressive. It's evolving. So something may be evolving. So if in that context, you do feel a bit unsure how it will be and do feel a bit exposed, just know it is evolving in the right direction for all sorts of connections with others. I'm going to summarize those four areas of energy, work, relationships, and finances next for you, Capricorn. But just to say, I've reduced the price of my personal horoscope reports. For many years, it was buy two, get 30% off. Because of the cost of living increases, now you can get three for the price of one. The one you pay for is your life roadmap report, which helps us to understand the patterns that are playing out or have played out in our lives, get a more intimate understanding of them, and work with those energies better future forwards. Free 12 months transit forecast and your draconic soul karmic analysis. That moves the North Node from your natal chart to 0 degrees Aries, the vernal point. But if you do have your North Node early in Aries or late in Pisces, you wouldn't see a big difference in your draconic chart. But if it isn't, it can be vastly different. And draconic astrology can help us to look at the sky in a different way, but also life and ourselves. It can be very profound, very much to do with the roots of our being. Please see below for more. Have you watched your June monthly video yet, Capricorn? That's published and on the screen. Your Mars in Taurus 6-week forecast on the screen. If you'd like to work with me one-to-one, it'd be an absolute pleasure. I work with people on every continent of the world. Please check out my testimonials below. If you've yet to sign up for your free daily written horoscope fired to your device each morning, please do so, because it helps you to get your early day celestial pit stop. But also, a lot of people can be a bit sniffy about daily horoscopes, but if they're written well, they're providing an overview of the key planetary influence each day. And that's where they have great value. Now, to summarize your situation, if you work somewhere which is bitchy, critical, and just not very pleasant, I think it really could impact on your energy over the next 2 weeks. What Mars can do is really encourage you to come out fighting, even if you feel a bit vulnerable. As far as your work is concerned, if you are in an environment like that, which isn't at all supportive, I'd look to change it. And if you do change it or start to go into the process of changing it, you may be utterly thrilled by how well that can work out for you by the end of June. Uranus in that sixth house suggests that it is time for you to perhaps look at different ways of doing things in terms of diet and exercise. But its T-square with the nodal axis can create a lot of tension, I think, on this event. And if you're in a close relationship and a partner are not sharing the tasks or not in tune with each other's different demands, that can make things run on the cold side, but I don't think it would necessarily be terminal. And as far as finances are concerned, I think if you can direct your gaze in a very precise way to squeeze in more from your assets, that can be an opportunity for you. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Look forward to seeing you again soon, and all the best.